What's going on, everyone? It's GeneralTarheel bringing you a new video for today. Today I have the SDL Draft League analysis. Now for the SDL, it stands for the Showdown Draft League. It's basically made up of people that I was in another league with, and they invited me to their main one, which is the SDL. And I just felt like I wanted to record and upload this league, considering the UPFC came to a very odd and abrupt ending. So, going right into it, since I was a new coach of the SDL, they allowed a franchise for me. So I decided to go ahead and franchise a Pokemon that I really like in the APA right now, which is Milotic. Milotic, if you don't already know, make sure to check out my APA videos. I use it very well. It's actually top of the league with kills. I don't use it offensively necessarily. It's just I use it very well between Scald and Toxic. But Milotic is a very bulky water type with a very nice ability in Marvel Scale, which basically, if it gets statused, mainly you're looking at wanting to get burned over anything else. Because Milotic Flame Orb is actually a set, I know that. But basically, if you get any status, paralysis, or if you're asleep, or if you're burned, or if you're toxic, then you do get 1.5 times your defense, which is very helpful. Considering Milotic already has good enough special defense, most of the time you see Milotic just invest in HP and defense. So that defense boost actually helps it even more, which is very nice. Milotic also gets a somewhat decent ability in competitive, which is basically the equivalent of Defiant, where if one stat is lower, then special attack is raised by 2, which is actually pretty cool. Sometimes that can be helpful if Milotic can actually take on a team, but other times it's something you just gotta... Mainly you're looking at Marvel Skill, because majority of the time you're looking at a defensive Milotic. But it's got a pretty decent move pool. It's very basic for a water type, but it's got what it needs necessarily, so that's very important. I mean, you got Coil if you want to set up a physical, but you got the interesting Dragon Pulse as well as Dragon Tail, even though Milotic is very low attack, and it's normally what you reduce with nature. It's just something that where you can move around the opponent if I have a lot of hazards up, which might be something with my team, which you'll see later on. Haze, which is an important move that stops any setup. If Milotic can wall something, but it needs setup in order to take on the rest of my team, and it can probably sweep the rest of my team, Haze be very important to get rid of any stats. Hydro Pump if I want to go for big damage. Ice Beam, of course, to hit those grass types. Light Screen, don't really use it on Milotic, but it could be helpful, raising the special defense of my allies, my team, seriously red allies. Magic Code if I want to stop any Stealth Rocks or something going to my team, any status. Recover, Milotic's main form of health regen, which is very helpful. The Amazing Scald, and of course I just like to use Toxic on Milotic. Now there's one other move Milotic has that I really like using, which is Mirror Coat, because Milotic has pretty bulky special defense, so there's rare chances that it actually gets knocked out by certain special attacking moves, even if they are super effective. And I can use Mirror Coat to where it doubles back on them, and it actually gets a KO. Someone actually, one of my APA videos, someone I faced had a Tapu Fini and they used Nature's Madness on me, and I used Mirror Coat, and since it did half damage to me, it actually did full damage back to that Tapu Fini and one-shot it, which is pretty cool. It's the hypest turbo one ever. But, so I'm definitely comfortable with Milotic. It's got the great stats. See, the defense is kind of where it lacks in the bulky side, but that's why you invest into it, and then if it gets that Marvel Skill, it is very helpful. Base 1 under special attack, whereas the Scalds and Ice Beam still come off pretty well, and if I do run the competitive set, it is decent. Base 81 speed for a tank is actually pretty good, because most tanks consist of between like 70 to 80 speed tiers, so then you just have to put a little bit of speed into Milotic just so in case they try to speed creep it or anything like that, you're in good range. But I'm very comfortable with Milotic, that's why I felt like I wanted to franchise it. Also, I had another Pokemon in mind that could go well with it in synergy for defensive core. But moving on, I knew my offensive pick that I wanted. I believe I was number 10 in the draft, so I was actually surprised it came to me. There were some other things that were I was still surprised came to me, like Magearna, Kyurem Black, those things were still on the board, but I've used those already. Magearna I used in a PMU league. It was very short, but I already used it. I'm still trying to use some Pokemon that interest me, mainly Pokemon from Gen 7, that's why I picked up Tapu Koko. amazing pivot electric type. It's very strong in Draft League, is what I've noticed. Gets the ability Electric Surge, of course, sets up its own electric terrain, which boosts electric type moves and it negates sleep on the field. Tapu Koko is just pretty strong. I wish it got the 115 special attack instead of its physical. That would have made him much more of a threat. But he's very strong still, with that amazing 130 speed. And then you can run physical or special. The special is more common because it just gets... I mean, you have to run Wild Charge and then you worry about recoil. You also get Brave Bird and that's more recoil. But he's got pretty good coverage with stuff like that. Calm Mindset I know is one with Tapu Koko. Unfortunately, it only gets Dazzling Gleam. Hoping for, like, if we got Play Rough, then it could be more of a physical Pokemon for sure. But it also gets access to Grass Knot in order to take on the ground types, which is very nice. It can be a screens Tapu Koko, which would be the most interesting in the world. Nature's Madness, of course, take half of the target's current HP. That's helpful for any possible tanks. Not necessarily like ground types because I hit him with Grass Knot or something like that, but something that's just like really bulky special defensively. Like if I had to take on like say a Chansey or something of that sort, then I Nature's Madness it, and then I can go into something when I force it to go for like a soft boiled, and the momentum is still in my favor. Gets access to the Roost for that like Calm Mindset and just capable of getting health. A very fast Taunter, which is very important. That's very helpful. Oh yeah, just quick note right here. The definition of this draft is fast. I was making it a meme at one point, but still my team has synergy. I'm just pointing that out right now before later on. And then of course you got access to Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, and then what I mainly like about Tapu Koko is the Volt Switch and U-Turn. You can run either one and it is very helpful. I believe very few Pokemon actually are capable of running both. I believe it's like, of course Mew, and then I believe Zapdos gets it. And then maybe Electivire, one of those guys or something like that. But it's very limited to the electric types that gets it, so that's very cool. It's just the electric terrain makes his Thunderbolt so much stronger, and you can definitely run a mix with Life Orb, even though it's more ideal to just go one or the other. The Brave Bird coverage is very helpful because one thing that mainly walls Tapu Koko that you see in Draft League is Mega Venusaur. So you can actually run an offensive if you want, run Brave Bird in order to hit it. Tapu Koko is just what I'm looking forward to using because it's going to be an important pivot, and I got another Pokemon that actually inspired me. A team in the AP inspired me for this, but I mean you might already know it by now, but just by saying that. But I just want a good Volt and U-Turn because in my teams in the past I feel like I lack a momentum side of things. I always go for like offense and then bulk and then other things that I'm not really pointing out, like hey, maybe I should get a U-Turn Pokemon or Volt Switch, because I really like momentum in my favor. And that will definitely happen for me with this team. So definitely looking forward to Tapu Koko, and its Electric Surge and Electric Terrains could be very helpful. I mean, it does, it's always important to know that if you do face an opponent that has a decent Electric type, you have to prepare to counter that, because its Electric type moves will also get boosted in the Electric Terrain. So that's kind of scary, but still, it can benefit me just as much as it can benefit my opponent. Now in the, for my second pick, it's next up to second pick considering my Ludicrous franchise. But, I want to pick a, Pokemon that could get rid of hazards for me already and be a reliable Pokemon overall. So I just decided to go with, Latios or Blue. I'm a little comfortable with Latios. It's pretty good in my favor. But I definitely, picked up another fast Pokemon, base 110 speed. And, it's got that base 130 special attack. It's pretty helpful. I was considering Latias or Latios, and I'm not really a fan of Latias. I prefer the offensive Latios, but that's also just my playstyle. I prefer offense over too much defense, so that's why I like Latios better. Also, I like blue better than red. I guess that makes sense. No. But also a good ability in Levitate, already giving me an answer for Tapu Koko's weakness in ground types. But of course we picked up this guy mainly because of the defog capability, which is very nice. I can run a Calm Mindset. I do want to run a possible Dragon Ant set one point this season, just because it throws people off. Normally you always expect like, oh, the Draco Meteor, Psy Shock, and whatever moves. But Dragon Dance set is definitely possible because, I mean, it's only got a base 80 a physical attack, but it can definitely put in work after a few of them. And there's a Stab Draco Meteor that does so much damage between a base 130 special attack and a base 130 special attacking move before stab. That's pretty strong. Gets access to Earthquake, Energy Ball, Ice Beam in case I just want to run things that are like quad effective for some reason. Does get access to the screens, and then Memento, which is pretty interesting. And Outrage, Psychic, and Side Shock, always helpful to figure out what would be more effective against a team, whether hitting them on the physical side or special defensively side. So that's important. Gives access to Roar in case you want to move around hazards. Roost. Roost is interesting, but you're mainly looking at Recover with Latios, because, I don't know. I just prefer Recover over Roost. Okay, talking. Does get access to Surf. Tailwind, which is very nice. Even though I do have a lot of speed on my team, Tailwind would be helpful for like offensive slower mons I might have on my team, or if say if I'm facing a sand team, like facing an Exadrill and sand or something of the sort, that'd be helpful. Then we got moves here, get that nice and boosted by that electric terrain. Thunder Wave for speed control. I can trick. Like if I have a Choice Specs or a Choice Scarf and I want to trick it onto a possible bulky Pokemon that's going to be able to switch in, then that'd be very important. Like say if it's a Chansey with Neviolite, even though I don't think Chansey was drafted. But so Latios is a very versatile Pokemon. Versatile, I'm dumb, sorry. Very versatile Pokemon that I'm looking forward to using. I've already used it before, but I know I can definitely use it decently. So we got two pretty speedy Pokemon that are very good offensively, more on the special offensive side. And I still wanted to pick up Bulk. As of right now, I wanted to pick up the synergy with Milotic that I was looking for. And that's why I wanted to pick up my homeboy Tangrowth, Mom Spaghetti. This guys here made a mistake making Tangrowth a tier 3 for me. They just handed it to me on a dish, and they're like, here, man. The only downside with Tangrowth with this team is that I can't necessarily run Sleep Powder just because of Tapu Koko with the electric terrain, but I still knew I needed Tangrowth with Milotic because in my opinion that's kind of a filthy core. Because I can just run special defense investment with HP on Tangrowth if I want. Majority of the time I still want to run max defense Tangrowth because in my opinion that thing's bomb with Rocky Helmet. But I can run special defense on Tangrowth and then defense on Milotic, and then that just allows some perfect synergy. Tangrowth gets that amazing regenerability, and he's got pretty good coverage. I just want to go over these stats again one more, like these stats, like I just love Tangrowth's stats. Of course you look at the other two and you're like, dang, those suck, but it's okay, Tangrowth keeps up with it. Nice base 100 HP, 100 attack, 125 defense, just 100 HP and 125 defense. You already know that's a filthy physical wall. And then you got a nice 110 special attack, which is most of where it comes from. But Tangrowth is such a good mix attacker that you just negate the speed for the nature and give a boost in whatever else you want. It's very effective. You can always run max special max special defense. And then of course a very common set that I don't use as much, but I use it on occasion, is the Assault Vest set. You boosted special defense by even more, and it's just a great offensive regenerator pivot. It's very efficient. I'm looking forward to it. For its move coverage, it just gives a pretty wide move pool. Brick Break, in case I want to get rid of any screens, I guess. Earthquake, it's helpful against stuff like Heatran and other fire types. Giga Drain for the health regen is mainly what we're looking at. Knockoff, getting rid of any annoying items. Leaf Storm for maximum amount of damage. I do like Leech Seed, get health back and take it from the opponent, very helpful. And we get Morning Sun as well as Synthesis for health regen. Poison Jab if I want against any possible fairies. There's that Sleep Powder, which I really do like using, but one, it wouldn't work with an Assault Vest set, two, it doesn't work as long as I have electric terrain up, so. Stun Spore if I want, you know, speed control on paralysis. And then Toxic just to spread status, because I do enjoy doing that. So Tangrowth is definitely a very bulky Pokemon that I'm glad I got again. I do want to try out Roserade one draft, so maybe I might do that for like my next one in a certain league. But Tangrowth is just where home hits, Mom Spaghetti. It's probably one of my favorites. I don't know if it is my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It's just so fun to use, in my opinion. But moving on to the next one, I definitely want a physical offensive Pokemon since I basically consist of 3 special attackers in one mix. So as of right now, I wanted to change that up, and I decided to go with the U-Turner. Yes, I am copying Mindicus's APA team with Tapu Koko and Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill got an actually really good buff to where it gets its speed the first turn of Mega, because now it doesn't need to run Protect anymore. It can run 4 coverage moves, 2 being U-Turn and Poison Jab, which get boosted by Adaptability, which is basically saying every hit's a super effective hit unless it's resisted. Instead of Stab doing 1.5, Stab's same type attack bonus. So Poison Jab on, say, a Dragon type, instead of doing 1.5 damage just because of Stab, it will do 2 times damage like it's super effective, which is crazy. It does ridiculous damage considering Mega Beedrill already has a base 150 attack and then a beautiful 145 speed. Now we're already rocking that speed with base 130, 110, and 145, and it's just going to keep going from here, trust me. Mega Beedrill is weak defensively. It can live a few special attacks, but it's not going to live much on the defensive side. It's very low with the base 40 defense and 65 HP. But I can't wait to use this thing. It's very strong. I probably need to go on the ladder and use some of these Pokemon. I don't use the ladder much anymore, but it's definitely interesting. But I can even get Agility Pass in something if I want. I can do a Fell Stinger. If you don't know, if it gets a kill, it gets +3 attack, and then I can Baton Pass that into something else if I want. That'd be pretty cool. Just get Defog, even though I don't know why I'd run a Defog Mega Beedrill. I'd prefer that on Lottie or some other hazard remover that I might have. Drill Run, which is very important, helps take on like steel types that want to try and wall Mega Beedrill. Knock Off, amazing getting rid of items. The strong Poison Jab that will always run. Pursuit, in case I want to trap any like weak psychic types or something of the sort. That's very helpful. Roost, in order for me to get health back. It does get Swords Dance, which is very nice. But Fell Stinger, which is down here. Yep. It only does base 50 damage, but raises attack by 3 if I get a KO with that. So if something's really weak and I have that, Mega Beedrill can possibly sweep at that point. Because not many things outspeed Beedrill. You have to be a base 80 speed and higher to run Scarf and outspeed Mega Beedrill. So basically anything base 81 speed and higher, Scarf outspeeds Beedrill. I just remember this because a max speed Scarf Channeler, which has base 80 speed, doesn't outspeed a max speed Mega Beedrill. Once again, gets Tailwind in case I want to add speed on my team. And one important thing that I like is Mega Beedrill actually get Toxic Spikes. I didn't know that, and now that I do, this is going to be very helpful because I love Toxic Spikes. And the fact he gets it is good because I didn't get another Poison type on the team. I'm going to say that now. But it's definitely a little bit hyped when I saw Toxic Spikes because I already like spreading its status. And once I don't even have to like spread it, it's just out there on the field. It's going to be very helpful. Because 1, not all teams pick up Poison types. 2, if they do, there's only a few strong Poison types in my opinion. So, which are only occasional brings. So if you get rid of like their Defogger or something like that and they don't have a Poison type just to suck up the Toxic Spikes, that's going to be very helpful. And then lastly, of course, the U-Turn for the very strong adaptability damage and the momentum, which is what I'm looking forward to. So Beedrill Tapu Koko is going to be a very interesting synergy that I'm going to like using. Speed is definitely going to be in our favor. We're already forcing a Choice Scarf on every team that we face just about. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Beedrill is going to be a monster and I can't wait to use it. Honestly, they messed up in the SDL. They made this Pokemon a tier 3 Mega. In my opinion, this is a tier 1 now. It's OU on the ladder in Showdown. This thing needs to be a tier 1 because it's just very strong. I don't care how weak it is defensively. It's almost a Pheromosa. Not completely, but it's close to there with Pheromosa, and that thing got banned. Of course, that thing is a lot stronger and faster, and it gets pieces, but it's just the fact of the damage input and stuff. It's just very good, and I can't wait for it. And next up, I needed a spinner. I did get sniped by my spinner. I wanted Donphan so badly for some defense and physical offense, but it was sniped, so I just decided to go ahead and pick up a spinner just before I lose one, and I wanted to just grab Hitmontop after that. I wasn't interested in like Dhelmise just because I have Tangrowth and such.
and it's always good to have some fighting types around. So him on top is a very decent spinner in my opinion. It does, unfortunately, since spin block does consist of ghost types, him on top does not get knockoff. Hitmonlee does, Hitmonchan doesn't, so Hitmontop and Hitmonchan need to get it together, because knockoff for them would be very helpful. But he's got pretty good moves in both Intimidate and Technician. Mainly you're looking at Intimidate, running a bulky Hitmontop in order to take on things defensively. It would also just help my team that's kind of physically weak by lowering the attack of the opponent. And then Technician is helpful because Hitmontop does get a lot of base moves below 60, such as Fake Out, Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, etc. Ooh, gosh. But, very good. Gets a nice bulk up. Bullet Punch, like I said, close combat for the max stab damage. Earthquake's very helpful. Fake Out, there we go again. Does get a high jump kick, but I am not interested in putting that on Hitmontop. I'd rather just close combat. Mach Punch for the priority again. Pursuit, which is pretty helpful. I've used that, I believe, twice on Hitmontop. It's only rare occasions where you want to use it, but there are some things that makes it a little helpful. Rapid Spin, of course, the main reason of getting him on top. And he does get some raw coverage for like the flying types, and Sucker Punch for more priority, which is very helpful. And then I also do like to run Toxic on my Hitmontop if I can, just because I'm not hitting the ghost types unless I get Sucker Punch damage off on it, or if I get a Foresight into fighting attack. But other than that, I do like to Toxic them, so I can at least do something to them. Because other than that, Hitmontop's not really doing much for them. But stat-wise, it is very good defensively, in my opinion. Got a low HP, but that's why you invest into it, which is very helpful. That Intimidate helps with the defense, and then that special defense is also very good already. I know an AV set's pretty common. You can run HP attack, and then with Intimidate. And that way your defense and your special defense almost evens out. Well, that HP is at max, and then the attack just helps you take on the rest of the team for the maximum amount of damage you can. So if they don't have like a strong ghost type or bulky psychic, then that'd be very helpful. Base 70 speed, nothing too much. Got 95 attacks, pretty good for a wall, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Tangrowth is pretty special with like its attack and special attack. But Hitmontop's definitely gonna do work. I'm definitely comfortable using it. It just get walled by a few things, which I already mentioned, but I mean it will do its job. So at this point, we're halfway done with the draft, and moving on to the next part. Next, I wanted to pick up a Pokemon that once again, the SDL messed up in their tier system. I don't know why they made this Pokemon this low of a tier. Oh, messed up. Oh, well, you'll see one later on. But Alolan Marowak, they made a tier 4. This is a tier 3 easy. I mean, it's not too much of a difference, but 40-point difference is like, it can add up. But I definitely wanted to use this. One, it's a solid spin blocker in my opinion, and then two, I needed a fire type to complete my water fire grass core. And Alolan Marowak just does it. Like, honestly, I can't wait to use it. Nickname Dead Fred. My friends in the Little Cup League that I was in would definitely know about it. I used Cubone in that Little Cup League that's still going on, and playouts are taking forever, cough cough. But Cubone I named Fred because of Fred Flintstone, and I put Thick Club on that thing and I brought it to every single game. And the games got shortened. I didn't play more than like 6 or 5, probably 6 games, and Fred still got like 10 kills. So I'm definitely looking forward to a Thick Club Alolan Marowak when I get around to that. But also its abilities, Crisp Body is decent, but you're not really looking at that. You're looking at a Lightning Rod, gives us an electric immunity, which is very important. We don't benefit from the special attack raise unless I want to go like a full meme set. But Rockhead will also be very helpful because Alolan Marowak does get that very strong stab Flare Blitz, which if I have the Thick Club with Rockhead, that's going to be very strong. So if I run an offensive, I'm more looking at Rockhead, and if I want to run a defensive or Stealth Rock setup, then I'm looking at Lightning Rod. And Alolan Marowak's actually our first Stealth Rock setter. I was taking too long to get one. That's why I wanted Donphan over him on top, but this will do. Its coverage is very strong. We got Boomerang in case we're worried about opponents having like 6 sashes or something of the sort, or if they have Sturdy. Earthquake if we want to go for the actual hard-hitting damage. And then he's got the fire coverage. One set I do want to run at one point is a Flame Charge Alolan Marowak. That would be very good, because sometimes Alolan Marowak, a team just has no answers to Thick Club. If you guys don't know Thick Club, I'm assuming majority of you do. Didn't Thick Club. If Holder's Cubone or Marowak, the attack is doubled. I mean, it only has base 80 attack, but once it's max, like if we go say here with Adamant, that's 250. That's a 500 base attack, like already without any boosts. I mean, I guess you count Thick Club as a boost, but still, that is. Oh wait, why is that? 284. Okay, I don't know why I went to 0 ABs. 284 times 2. So that's 568? Yeah, I can do math. That's 568 base attack before like possible boost and anything else. So that Flame Charge would definitely give us a nice speed boost, and then we could possibly sweep from there. I mean, that's why I want to try it. Fur Blitz for the max amount of damage if I'm looking at the Rock Head ability. Otherwise, I might want to run something like, say, Fire Punch if I don't want to take damage. If I'm set on being like a Lightning Rod set. Hex, I'm not running special attack in Marowak, so whatever. It does get knockoff, get rid of any items, which is very good. Power Up Punch, there we go. Like I said, we can raise that base 564 attack even more. Power Up Punch with Flame Charge, that's a possible set for sure. Then it's got this physical ghost type move that is very specific for Alolan Marowak, which is Shadow Bone. Nice base 85 physical attack. It's better than Shadow Claw, which is very helpful. Does get rock type coverage in the Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks I'm looking forward. Does get electric type coverage, which is interesting, and of course I get the Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. Most ghost types get Will-O-Wisp, so it's just helpful that he got it, as well as him being ghost and fire. So if he didn't get it, that'd be pretty dumb. But Alolan Marowak's pretty strong, and there's a little move just in case I might run later on. If you think 564 wasn't bad already, wait until you belly jump 564. Okay, but so Alolan Marowak is gonna be very strong. I'm looking over his stats again. The attack's going to look good with a Thick Club, but other than that, defensively, I'm going to run HP special defense with possible little defense. Because it's, typing actually does help against a few things, and having that electric immunity actually helps me out against certain things. This is actually a great counter to Tapu Koko, ironically, but, of course I'm not going to counter my own team, like, what, who am I? But, Alolan Marowak's gonna put in all the work, and I can't wait for it. I say I can't wait for every Pokemon. I'm just hyped. So I apologize for that. And then next up, we got Dugtrio, our boy Diggle. Diggle from Arrow, in case you watched that. I was watching it at the time of the draft, and I'm like, you know what, I'll name him it, whatever. Dugtrio is known for one thing and one thing only, and that is Arena Trap. Basically, you force one thing on an opponent's team to run Shed Cell once a week. They lose any possible boost and damage from that, which is very helpful. Of course, Arena Trap, unless they are Ghost types or Flying, I believe Ghost types can switch out. They are locked in, unless they Levitate or Flying or Ghost. They are trapped in there with Dugtrio, and Dugtrio just gets off damage. You normally run around Focus Sash with Dugtrio. It's because he doesn't have the best defenses, and by that I mean he has nothing. Also, you can still make a switch in to Dugtrio. He takes a hit and goes down to Focus Sash, and then he still gets the outspeed and is capable of attacking. Dugtrio is better this generation because it got a boost in attack and speed. I believe it got a plus 10 speed boost for Gen 7, and it got was either plus 20 or plus 10 in attack. Either way, the base 100 attack is just very helpful now. Dugtrio is very basic though when it comes to sets. So you're looking at the basic Earthquake. You can run Final Gambit if you want. I know some people have. Pursuit, which is interesting. That's not a normal set. I don't know why I'm saying that. Basically running on Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, and then Sucker Punch. Because Sucker Punch is helpful if they're going to get out something else before you or something of the sort. Does get Stealth Rocks in case I want to bring in Dugtrio, get up Stealth Rocks. I go down to my Sash, and then I do the damage the following turn. Very helpful right there. Other than that, Dugtrio isn't really meant for too much. I just wanted another electric immunity between Alola Marowak and Dugtrio because one, I feel like it's always good to have a ground type, no matter if it's no matter if it can't take a hit for its life like Dugtrio, or if it's, I don't know, like I just ground coverage is very strong if you are capable of just taking out a team with it. So I really wanted one. I always like offensive ground types. Still sad I got sniped by Donphan, but we get to get our revenge on the guy who sniped Donphan week 1, which we'll see right after this because I'm going to double upload. But Dugtrio is a very basic Pokemon, but it will definitely do its job. It's synergy to where most things that you know are answers to type are ground types. Ground types are normally not just mono types, so we'll have another one, whether it's Steel or something of the sort. Dugtrio can come in on a double like that, and then I trap them in there with Dugtrio. I can take them out, and Tapu Koko can take on the rest of the team. My team isn't just some speed shenanigans with a base 130, 110, 145, and now a base 120. No, it's got synergy, which is what I like. Next up, we finally get the monster that I've been waiting to get in every draft, which is Miltank, the best tier 5 of all time. Miltank is just a monster for a tier 5. It's pretty good. I mean, you got base HP, base 95 HP, and base 105 defense. That's already bulky. You can invest in special defense, and then you can run a curse set with Miltank or something of the sort. Gets access to Milk Drink, its own special move to get its HP back up. Base 80 attack is nothing too amazing, but it's still a good or decent offensive Pokemon. And base 100 speed, just to like compete with all those other base 100 speeds. Which honestly, it's still a good speed tier. Like Miltank's honestly slow for my team. Like, what are you doing? But also gets the 3 great abilities that are very helpful for Draft League, because you can adapt to anything on the opponent's team for Miltank right here. Thick Fat reduces the power of fire and ice type moves. Scrappy, you can hit ghost types with your normal type attacks. And Sap Sipper, I can wall grass types and get an attack boost. You know how threatening that is for Miltank to get some attack boost and actually start doing stuff? But the coverage on Miltank is insane. Like, its moveset is so helpful, that's why I wanted it. Also, just a decent normal type is always so helpful for a team. Also gives me another Stealth Rocker. I've gotten 3 Stealth Rockers in a row. And that will honestly be all the Stealth Rocks for my team. But mainly you're looking at like Body Slam on Miltank when you bring it to a game, get a chance at that paralysis. I'll go over one of my favorite sets when I go through the entire moveset. But you got Earthquake as well, Facade in case you get statused. Fire Punch was very nice. It gets the Elemental Punches and Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. Heal Bell, which is very nice. I get to take off any status on my team. Whether that's somehow it got a burn on Mega Beedrill, or if I'm toxic on Tangrowth. It's always good to have a Cleric. It's very helpful in Miltank, so that was something very nice. There's that Melt Drink for the health regen. Power Up Punch, which is very nice. Raise that attack of the Miltank if I don't get him like through Sap Sipper. Got the rock coverage. There's the Stealth Rocks, it's beautiful, normal. There's the Thunder Punch, like I mentioned. Does get some special attacks, but you don't want to run that. And then T-Wave for speed control, which is amazing. I don't know how a cow gets Thunder Wave, but boy, I'm going to take it, because that's very helpful. Because if I'm not already going to have the speed advantage on my team already, I have plenty of things that can Thunder Wave them and stuff that actually cripples them even more. And then next up, I wanted I want to go ahead and get my other tier 5, because at this point I knew my tier 2 wasn't going to get sniped. I already accidentally leaked it, so you guys already know it anyways. But definitely wanted a strong tier 5, and that's what I picked up. More speed, which is in Sneasel, base 115 speed, 95 attack, which is alright. But Sneasel is definitely going to help. I wanted a good Pursuit Trapper. I was debating between Rampardos and Sneasel, because Rampardos just has crazy physical attack. Because right now, my special attackers are kind of stronger than my physical. And most people they can have an AV or a bulky special defense, so you always want a nice, hard-hitting physical attacker. And I don't have too many that are actually hard-hitting. The best hard-hitting is like a Beedrill, not including you know, a little Marowak before or after Thick Club. So I want to get Sneasel. It gives me a Pursuit Trapper. It gives me some nice Ice Stab and Priority and Ice Shard. It's very helpful. Once again, just like Dugtrio, it's going to run a Focus Sash set because it is fairly frail. I can run a Banded set if I want for maximum damage, or Life Orb like a typical Weavile set. But you're basically looking at gets Fake Out, which is very helpful. More priority coverage. Brick Break for possible Steel Lancers. I'm not going to run Foul Play because I want the most damage. Icicle Crash is his main Ice type coverage. And if I'm very worried about missing for some awful reason, I'll run Ice Punch. Stab Knockoff is a beautiful sentence. 2 words, actually, well, 3 words, I guess you can say, so it's not much of a sentence. But either way, Stab Knockoff is amazing, and I love it. There's the Pursuit Trap. We do get Power Up Punch, and we do get Poison Jab for those annoying fairy types that might want to come in. Swords Dance in case I want to try and set up with Sneasel and just sweep at one point, because why not? Another Fast Haunter, which is very nice. And then we also get access to X-Scissor, because, I don't know, I'll run X-Scissor 1 week just because I said it right now. I'll actually forget that, so never mind. But I definitely wanted to use Sneasel at one point, because I used Weavile in the PBU, which is actually with these gentlemen that I'm with in the SDL. So, gentlemen, and Sarah Bear from the APA. Don't want to be sexist, that'd be rude. But, so definitely wanted to use Sneasel. I just wanted the Tark type coverage as well as Ice. It suited my team pretty well in my opinion. So just covering some typings that I wanted. And that was actually the last speed control technically. But we do have priority control, which is Klefki. I don't know why, but ever since I started Draft League, like after the first season, the APA Season 5, I said I wanted Klefki. Like, I just wanted to use Klefki. I didn't grab it I didn't grab it this season for Season 6 of the APA. And I didn't grab it in other leagues that I drafted for. But I just wanted Klefki for some reason. Like, Prankster, Klefki is just so much fun in my opinion. I used it a little bit on the ladder, and I need to be more comfortable with it, but this thing's just so great. Prankster, like, what else do you need to say about it? Pokemon status moves are priority. It is nerfed now, though, that dark types are immune to Prankster, but it's okay. It's not really, you don't really want a, unless you're, like, gonna get this hard raid on me, you don't want, a dark type switching into Klefki, because it still can hit you with the Fairy Stab, man. You can need a Play Rough or a Dazzling Gleam, and then you're not gonna enjoy that later on. But it's got amazing move pool that actually helps it. And then the status moves that just make it so well with that Prankster I'm going to go over. Calm on Klefki I know is somewhat of a thing. Basically it doesn't get much health regen besides some leftovers because I can't run Rest because of Tapu Koko. But access to the Dazzling Gleam, Foul Play, which is very helpful because I don't have to worry about any form of attack or special attack investment for Klefki. If I know they're just strong physical attackers, I can hit Foul Play and it's going to do max amount of damage. Because it's damage equal to the opponent's attack stat, not so much mine. Also get Flash Cannon for that stat. That's unfortunate for Klefki. This is its only decent steel type attack. It doesn't get any physical, whether it be Smart Strike or Iron Head. I wish it got one of the two, because Klefki physical with Play Rough is actually better than running Flash Cannon. But it will have to do. And then this is the highlight right here. Screens. Light Screen and Reflect Light Clay. That gets Prankster. Klefki, my team's pretty frail, but if I get screens up, then that's going to be very helpful, and that's going to be pretty hype. There's that Play Rough that I was talking about, Magic Coat, in case someone tries to prank us back. It ain't going to happen. It goes back on them, and then they just got reverse pranked, you know what I mean? And then one thing I was mainly looking for is like these last moves, like Spikes. I love Spikes, and the fact that Klefki gets it with Prankster makes it so much better. Priority Spikes is amazing. I can set up on a few things, and it can either force it to rapid spin until it dies or something, I don't know. Or if, I know Klefki might go down, I can get a free Spike for just to get off damage. Like, it's just a thing. And I can even do, Switcheroo Klefki if I want, to get rid of any offensive threat or something like that. And then Prankster T-Wave is so helpful. It's like, what? You're outspeeding my team now, and you're about to sweep me? Not anymore, son. You got Thunder Waved. Of course, I hate now that it has a 10% chance to miss, and it will probably happen to me at least once this season, considering I have a lot of T-Wave potential on my team. But, I just can't wait to use Klefki. I mean, God, I said that about my entire team, and I apologize. But Klefki's definitely one I've been looking forward to use. It is a very versatile Pokemon. I love using Prankster. I use it on Lipard in APA Season 5. And it's such a good backup plan, like a solid plan B. And the screens like Clay Pranksters can be very helpful too. And the fact to get spikes just makes it so easy for my team just to do max amount of damage and just U-turn and Volt Switch constantly to my momentum puts them in a bad position between Stealth Rocks and Spikes and possible Toxic Spikes and Mega Beedrill, to where my hazards will affect them over time, and that will just be stupid strong, and I can't wait for this team. Someone did point out that my team's slightly susceptible to Trick Room, but that's why I have a very slow Alola Marowak as well as a Tangrowth. Tangrowth can be offensive, and I always run that negative speed nature. And if I feel like Trick Room would honestly benefit their team, whether they have like 1 or 2 good setters or something of the sort, I can run a negative speed Alola Marowak since it's only got base 45, and I can run Thick Club, and that's going to punish them. Like, it's honestly not that bad of a team. I could have went a little bit slower. Definitely still hyped to use this team. And then quickly out of review, I just wanted to point out that Latios here is my Z mod. I didn't mention that before I was going to. And it's more than just Z attacking moves. As long as it's not an Omni Boost, we can do it. So I can go for Z Memento, which is basically half their special attack and stuff, and then the Pokemon that comes in gets health regen, and then I can set up with that. So dude, I have potential. And then Latios just has the amazing move pool. I can run the Psychic Z move, or the Dragon if I want Stab. I can run the Bloom Doom. I can run Continental. Oh no, that's not Continental Crush. You're Tectonic Rage. I can't run. Yeah. Gigavolt Havoc with Thunder and Thunderbolt. I can even run the Water with Surf. Like, this is honestly crazy. I know certain things can give you boosts. Like, I don't know what Z Thunderwave does. Like, I need to look over some of these things, because I know some of them can actually benefit you really well. And I just need to be interested in it, because I don't play ladder too much. I mainly just play League, and so far in Leagues it's only been Z attacking moves. So I definitely need to look into that for Lottie. But that's my draft analysis, guys. My team is very strong in my opinion, and I can't wait. I said it again, I can't wait. Can't wait to use it. You'll see the week 1 I already faced Cell. It's going up right after this and went pretty well. I will be uploading replays for this league most likely, because I already do live comms for APA. If I want, I might do a live comm for the SDL. But as of right now, I do like replays because I have my nice long APA videos, and I just have a nice quick replay for this one. So that worked out pretty well in my opinion. I'm not going to make a layout so much for this league, just because I don't want to get around to it. But I will make thumbnails, which are a little bit better than the ones in APA. So look for those. I hope you look forward to the SDL. Make sure to sub, like, share. Deuces.